Riley from the Energy Boutique with the energy forecast for Wednesday, November 3rd. So today we do have the moon moving out of Libra after the best part of the day being stabilized in that light, fluffy, communicative energy of Libra. And around 7:30 p.m., again, Atlantic Standard Time, we will see the moon switch out of Libran energy and dive into Scorpio. Of course, we're already in the new moon window. It is taking place tomorrow around supper time for many of us. And I really feel that, and especially because of the emails and the messages that I've been getting, I really feel like we have to kind of understand that you're supposed to be at wit's end. You're supposed to be angry. You're supposed to be dark. You're supposed to be feeling sad and just overwhelmed. That is the point of a dark moon. It is especially the point of a dark moon in Scorpio. So as we build, the intensity builds. And of course, the darker emotions, the darker thoughts definitely rise to the surface. We will have the majority of the day in this Libran energy, really trying to help balance us out, really trying to keep things light and fluffy, really trying to communicate effectively so that we can get some of this darkness outside of our bodies. But again, it is going to be a little bit of a challenge. There are 11 different aspects taking place today. 8 of them involve the moon. But right out of the gate, the very first 2 aspects here today start off with Venus and Mercury. Venus is making an aspect with Uranus, which is going to kind of shake us up and kind of confuse us a little bit, especially on our emotional needs, on what it is we actually want, what it actually desire, what we are trying to manifest. Things get a little bit confusing. Things have been confusing, but of course, this Uranian energy definitely adds a little bit of instability to our mental planes, especially where our emotional needs, what makes us happy, who makes us happy, is concerned. Now, Mercury is going to try to help us out here because Mercury is going to bump into the true node, which is trying to kind of visualize where it is we want to be, where it is we have to be in order to actually start manifesting some of the elements that we know in our lives right now have to change. Mercury is definitely full steam ahead, came out of the shadow period yesterday, still in Libra, kind of wrapping up the life lessons that need to be wrapped up before diving into Scorpio on Friday. So Mercury here is trying to communicate, trying to think clearly, trying to weigh the pros and cons, trying to kind of see where it is that we need balance, we need love, we need peace, we need harmony in our lives. And of course, the dark moon illuminating all these dark thoughts and dark feelings, it's going to be a struggle to do so. But we're going to try our best. Now, the moon in Libra is going to be making some aspects with Neptune, Jupiter, and Pluto. And here's how we roll. The moon in Libra, bumping into Neptune first, is really trying to capture a vision, really trying to pull in the intuition to mix with our logical and practical mindset. It is really trying to tap us into our higher selves. That Neptune energy is very spiritual. Although that Neptune energy could provide us with a point where we want to escape our lives, escape our thoughts, escape our emotions, the moon in Libra doesn't want to do that. We would rather, with the moon in Libra, take a good look at all the things that we want to run away from and try to kind of balance it out, compromise, cooperate with our heart and with our head. And then the moon trining with Jupiter is going to be a good energy. That means that we're kind of pulling ourselves out of a funk because Jupiter wants us to grow and expand in all the most beautiful and positive ways. He's trying to give us optimism. He's trying to give us confidence. He's trying to renew our faith in ourselves, in the plan. This is a test for us, right? Just because we can't see the future, just because we don't have the clarity that we want, doesn't mean that we don't trust this present moment. We are exactly where it is that we need to be, even in the depths of the darkness. So this particular aspect is going to kind of reassure for us that, you know what? Growing is never fun. Evolving is never fun. Change is never fun. We are in Scorpio season. This is about deep transformations in the mind, body, soul, and of course in the reality. And none of this is fun, but we can feel safe. We can feel secure in this moment, knowing that we're exactly where it is that we need to be, preparing for this dramatic shift in our realities. But then the moon goes ahead and squares Pluto. Now, this is going to bring up a lot of fears, a lot of doubts, a lot of insecurities. We don't get to stay in that light, fluffy, optimistic, confident energy for too long, because Pluto wants to highlight for us all of our doubts, all of our fears, all of our pain, all of our trauma, trying to keep us paralyzed in this moment, to not look ahead, to not take a step forward. Are we going to allow that energy to paralyze us? Well, for the most part, some of us will for this particular energy on this day. But here's the thing. All the darkness needs to come to light, especially as we kind of approach this new moon. So it is going to be a struggle. We are going to have an opportunity to boss up. But for many of us, we are going to sit in the darkness and really kind of mull over our pain and our trauma and our fears and our insecurities and our doubts for far longer than we actually should. Late in the afternoon, though, the moon is going to attempt to pull us out of that by bumping into the true node again and trying to rework what it is that we actually know in our hearts to be true. A lot of the fears and insecurities and doubts coming up from the earlier Plutonian energy is kind of triggering our egos. But when we quiet the mind, we move within ourselves and we trust our intuition, that is when we start kind of getting calm again. That is when we can look forward positively. That's when we can start kind of piecing things together in our mental plane based off of what it is that we're feeling in our heart, not from what it is that we're feeling in our ego. Mercury goes ahead and bumps into Neptune. And this is going to be a beautiful energy because this is intuitive insight. This is new information, new knowledge coming in from the highest realms. We are blending, again, our logical and practical mindset with our intuition, and we're going to have some beautiful results because of that. The moon bumps into Neptune in the most harmonious way possible. And for a split second, our heart and our head is exactly on the same page. We can take a deep breath. We can validate for ourselves that we are on the right path. We trust our intuition. We trust the universe. Then the moon goes ahead and comes right up to, sits right next to Mercury. Both of them, of course, in Libra. This is going to provide us a beautiful opportunity to kind of get off of our chests what it is that we've been kind of conflicted over. This will also provide us an opportunity for a serious conflict if we're not listening and if we're projecting instead of actually communicating. Again, the moon is emotions and Mercury is our thoughts. And so we are going to have a beautiful opportunity here to express ourselves. Just be careful how you're doing it. We do have to have these deep heart-to-hearts, but we might not like our response. We might not like how other people are accepting our information. It could set us up for a major disappointment. The moon is going to help us out, though, by sextiling Venus. And this is really us recognizing right now what it is that we do need, what it is we do want, what it is that we desire, what it is we deserve, especially emotionally, especially when it comes to our personal relationships. All the chaos that we've been trying to kind of teeter-totter back and forth, trying to kind of get a vision. Now we have a little bit more clarity. And it comes at an opportune time with this opportunity to express ourselves. The moon then goes ahead and switches out of Libran energy, locks into Scorpio energy, and makes a very interesting, kind of tough aspect with the true node. Now, here's the thing. The moon in Scorpio, very intense, very passionate, very dark, but very powerful, because this is where we get to alchemize the bad into the good, the dark into the light. And because we are thinking true node, we are thinking futuristically, we have to rework a couple of things. We just had a conversation that likely wouldn't go well, even though we did speak our truth and advocate for ourselves. Then we have a realization when the moon bumped into Venus, what it is that we actually need, safety and stability in our personal relationships. And now we're trying to rework, okay, where do I go from here? So this is going to set us up for some very intense energies that we're going to wake up to Thursday morning as we build towards the peak energy of the new moon in Scorpio.